Bahrain is placing tourism at the center of its economic revival. By 2026, it plans to attract 40 million tourists to help boost GDP. With the UAE and Saudi Arabia already vying for visitors, how does Bahrain stand apart and attract more holidaymakers? Zayed Alzayani is the Minister of Industry, Commerce and Tourism for Bahrain. He joins us now. Minister, good to have you with us this morning. It's, a tough job. They've got the Burj Khalifa around the corner here. They've got Alulya in Saudi Arabia. NEOM is coming. How do you differentiate Bahrain? How do you make Bahrain a destination for visitors?
Good morning. First of all, thank you for having me on your show this morning. I think each country has its unique features. When we look at Bahrain, we start with a country that has a history of 1,000 years old and a long-standing civilization, a country that's always built on tolerance, being an island, being a trading island, a country that's always been adaptable to receiving people from other civilizations, from other cultures. So we have a lot to share here with the rest of the world. We are, whether it's history, whether it's the modern state we live in today, or everything else in between. I think the biggest asset we have is the welcoming Bahraini people. They have been open to others for many, many years. We have a very tolerant society, very open society, cosmopolitan society. And I think when people come to Bahrain, they enjoy a true and genuine local hospitality. Probably that to me is the largest differentiator.
Minister, I lived in Bahrain for about 1.5 years, and I really enjoyed it. So I'll say that much. But in terms of investments that are going to be prioritized in the next couple of years, what's on the table and how is that going to help you achieve a certain number of tourists visiting? What's the target?
The target, as you mentioned in the beginning of the segment, is 14 million. We're looking for tourism to contribute a double-digit contribution to our GDP of 11.4%. That is the first time we've really targeted tourism to be that big in our GDP. This is the second tourism strategy we launched. We launched one prior to COVID, which ended in 2019. In that, we managed to double GDP contribution to about 7%. And we managed to reach almost 12 million tourists in Bahrain. The difference in this strategy is that we're looking beyond the GCC region, because the first one was mainly focused on the GCC and some countries close to the GCC. Now we're increasing the footprint. We're going into Europe, into China, Russia, North America. These are new markets for us. Israel is a new opportunity for us, and we've achieved a lot of success with them on the tourism front. And we look to expand the reach. With the expansion of the reach, I think we will attract more people. We are also diversifying our products, so we're investing more in our beaches and our islands. We are building the largest exhibition and conference center in the region. That should be up and running by the end of this year, and we hope that the MICE business will be a cornerstone in our new tourism strategy.
Just to give our Bloomberg viewers a reference point in terms of the accelerator for the economy, what, are you going to spend $1 billion over a couple of years? What kind of investment scale are you going to put into chasing the MICE and chasing the Israeli visitors to come and go to the beach in Bahrain?
I think there's two parts of the expenditure. There's the capex, or the hardcore infrastructure, which is stuff like the stuff we're doing at the exhibition center, the beaches, the tourism infrastructure, and there's the soft expenditure, or the OPEX, which is mainly the marketing and attraction and incentivization of the tour operators and all that. If we look at the capex expenditure, we're talking about almost $1 billion in there. And if you look at the OPEX, that really changes from year to year. But for the next year, for 2022, we're looking at about $10 million of promotion spending.
What about the GCC UK trade deal? Could you give our global audience a bit of an overview of where the talks are, what kind of milestones could be in the offing, and ultimately what kind of a difference it's going to make to Bahrain?
Well, the UK is a traditional trading partner with the whole of the GCC. This is why at 2021 and under the presidency of Bahrain, we put out an action plan to reactivate FTA agreements. The GCC has been successful in the past in concluding a couple of FTA agreements, but kind of stopped along the way. So we put a target. We identified the potential trading partners. The UK was one of them. We moved quite quickly with the UK because we have to go through a consultation process. That's done. The negotiations have started. We're hopeful that we could get something towards the end of this year or by mid next year, hopefully.
So will it be an extensive agreement? Would you call it that? How would you frame it? And what are the priority sectors that you hope to benefit from?
Sorry, did you say extensive or expensive?
Well, hopefully it's not going to be expensive. I hope it's extensive. So just how extensive is it going to be? Is it going to be an all-encompassing or a fast and furious deal that hones in on a couple of sectors?
Like all FTA agreements, especially when we're talking about the GCC, we're talking about 6 countries here negotiating jointly. So I don't think FTA agreements are whole inclusive. They come with different schedules. They come with different timelines. So some things will be free from day one. Some things will be made open within 5-10 years, depending on the schedules that are attached to it. At this point, we'd like to make it as comprehensive as possible. I can't really comment on the outcome yet because we're in the negotiation phase. We have set up a team within the GCC General Secretariat at Riyadh that will handle all negotiation on behalf of the 6 countries to streamline it, to make it easier and quicker to conclude. That team has been doing a fantastic job and they're progressing very nicely. So, we'll know more as we get closer to the date.
And we look forward to getting those updates as they happen and for your perspective as well. Zayed Alzayani, the Minister of Industry and Commerce and Tourism for Bahrain. Thanks again for joining us.